Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Remember that the equity markets, the Sensex and the Nifty were lackluster in yesterday's trade, but definitely ended with marginal gains on December 13, right ahead of the US policy meet. But now we have the indication from US policy of 3 rate cuts coming in next year. Will this give a fresh impetus to the markets as well? That's something that we will tell you throughout this edition. Stay with us, but first up, the top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. Markets partly globally as the US Federal Reserve signals it's through with rate hikes in the world's largest economy. The Dow closes at a record high on the news that 2024 will see interest rate cuts coming in. Indian markets are set to open higher. With Nifty's weekly expiry today, bulls will be out in full force after a consolidation of 6 sessions, and traders are likely to further ramp up frontline stocks, government PSUs and high-ticket, low-beta shares. Extreme caution is advised. Very good morning to all our viewers and good morning to you, Shail, as well. Well, it seems like Santa is now arriving early because the Nifty has already been up 6.4% in the last 1 month. Looks like it preempted the easing of monetary policy by the Fed, Shail.
A very warm good morning to you, Sakshi, and to thousands of our viewers. Yes, we seem to have morphed from the Navratra rally to a Diwali rally, and from a Diwali rally to an election rally, and the election rally is now morphing into a Santa rally. Absolutely right, Sakshi. We've had a blowout on the Dow Jones index yesterday. It closed at a record high, very, very sharp gains coming in about 1.3, 1.4%. The index also closed at a day's high, and as you rightly mentioned, it's the happiness of the potential rate cuts that are going to hit the US economy in 2024. So out goes the thought of recession and in comes the thought of a nice bull market from now on. You see the percentage change on the Dow, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. All three of them closed at the day's high. Now let's look at our markets. You will see the Nifty chart in front of you. Over the last 6 sessions, we've seen the index consolidating in a sideways band, trying to get out of the 21,000 level, as also, striking a record high. I think that glorious day is here today. You can see the very sharp rally that sort of consolidated towards the right side. And this is something that will be broken out. And my own personal hope is that you'll see a trending day, a gap up because of the weekly expiry. Bulls will be out in full force. And then probably a close above 21,000 today, Sakshi. So that is as far as the Nifty is concerned. Buy the dip remains the best strategy forward. And we've seen a very, very sharp rally that's come into many, many stocks, many, many sectors, and that's likely to continue. I think tech will be an outperformer because one of the biggest problems that the tech universe faced was this very high interest rates in the US. And with those coming down, you will see sustained buying in overseas Nasdaq, and maybe that will get reflected in our markets as well. So get ready for a party Thursday and Friday. Sakshi, these are really, really good days for the index. And of course, buy the dip, as also the fact, as we have spoken to many, many market experts yesterday, if you were with us, then this is a long trending bull market. Buy and hold will work better than BTST or STBT, Sakshi.
Fair enough. Buy the dip is the best Nifty strategy as of now. But when we talk about the bank Nifty now, Shell, we did see that yesterday it started off with a slight positive trend, encountered profit booking right from the start, traded in a range as well. Eventually, it concluded the weekly expiry session on a flat note, just below 47,100. How would you really look at the bank Nifty now?
So it's a flat trade on the Bank Nifty yesterday. It's actually, see, because this was such a global event, the US Federal Reserve two-day meeting, everybody was, in pause mode. In any case, we had run up very sharply, about 25, 2,600 points on the Bank Nifty over the past 7 or 8 trading sessions. So it again also went sideways. Now the ultimate hurdle, the only hurdle that was there in front of the Bank Nifty was how global banking rates will be, and the US Federal Reserve has given a very, very strong indication that they are done with rate hikes, and now in 2024 you'll see some cuts coming in. So let's see how the Bank Nifty behaves. We've already seen very, very sharp upticks happening on ICICI Bank and Axis Bank. Remember, these are two corporate lenders. Very sharp moves coming in as far as this weekly expiry is concerned. And of course, it's the first day of the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. So it will be on the front foot. Its trend is up. And again, banking stocks in the private sector space are likely to read this punch up that's about to happen on the last street, Sakshi.
And in the F&O space, Shell, any particular stocks that will be on the radar today?
Sakshi, it's a rally which has really, really overextended itself on technical and optional data. But REC, PFC, there is no let up in demand as far as these stocks are concerned. Yesterday it closed at an open interest of 5.8% higher. I'm talking about REC, 9% higher. Power Finance Corporation had an open interest of about 4.7% increase, and both volume, price, and open interest rise in these two stocks already at record high signal probably that there is more steam left in the rally. As it is, you see all government financing companies on a bull run. So REC and PFC finance the power sector. You have IREDA making record highs on a daily basis, 20, 20, and 10% circuits over the last 3 sessions. That's the renewable energy space. IRFC is doing fairly good. So it's the financing arm of the government in different sectors that is attracting a lot of hectic buying activity, as a as also a lot of hectic trading activity. So in the FNO, REC, PFC.
Okay, F&O space, REC and PFC, the power financing companies will again be in focus today. Let's also look at the global cues then. Like Shell pointed out, it was a record high for the Dow. It closed above 37,000 for the very first time ever. And of course, S&P 500 and NASDAQ rallied more than 1% each after the Fed kept the interest rates unchanged and foresaw that 3 rate cuts could be coming in next year as well. Fed Chair Jerome Powell also during the press conference said that the Fed is not likely to hike further, and it's very focused on not making the mistake of keeping rates too high for too long. That's the statement that perhaps was very, very welcomed by the US markets. Asian counterparts is higher in the early trade as well. When we talk about the kind of moves that we have been witnessing on the gift nifty, they also indicate a gap up start. So apart from, say, the Nikkei has slipped a bit, tad bit now after opening higher, 0.3% down. Tick Straits Times is up by 0.8%, Hang Seng up by over 1%, Kospi up by 1% as well. But Gift Nifty is at 21,209 at this point in time. As far as the flows are concerned, the FII's net bought shares worth 4,710 crores, while the domestic institutional investors sold about 958 crore rupees worth of shares as well. Let's also look at some of the stocks that you need to watch out for in trade today. Fusion Microfinance, that is going to be in focus. There is an expected block deal likely to happen Honey Rose Investment may sell 9.25% stake at a floor price of 535 rupees per share. Then NBCC has got a work order worth 1,500 crores from National Cooperative Development Corporation. So that stock will be in focus again. SBI has signed an agreement, a line of credit for the solar projects in India. So that's going to be in focus too. Religare, over here, SEBI has suspended the registration certificate of the Religare Commodities. That stock could be reacting to the news. Escorts Kubota. Here, Harish Lal Chandani has resigned as the Chief Officer Agri Machinery Business. So there is some exit right there as far as the top level opening is concerned. The primary market will be in focus. Of course, we already have the two IPOs that are open, but Inox India's 1,459 crore rupees IPO also opens today, and it's got thumbs up from most of the analysts as well. The price is 627 to 660 per share. So that IPO will also be in focus as of now. Shell, anything else that you would be watching out for in trade today?
Sakshi, I'm very keenly watching out how techs react. There was this view in the market that an impending US recession would sort of uh, adversely impact the deal flow as far as frontline techs are concerned. Of course, mid cap IT companies are doing phenomenally well in India. I'm just focusing on HCL Tech, Infosys, and TCS. Remember, they were having a very, very painful time. If you see the year to date gains on TCS, Infosys, and Wipro and HCL Tech, they're nothing to talk about, even when compared with the modest rally on the Nifty. Forget mid caps and small caps. Now, with this fear and anxiety of an impending US recession out of the way, my understanding is that, a lot of money will now go into relative underperformers. And this is the space that I am watching at as far as a medium term uptick is concerned. Otherwise, a rate cut essentially means commodities will be back in action, therefore metal, uh, commodities will be back in action, therefore OMCs. So these are the sectors which will be impacted positively by the US federal rates announcement. You've seen how the Nasdaq has reacted very sharply. We look at uh, uh, an ETF listed in India, which is Mirai Asset NYSC FANG ETF. It was at about 69-70 rupees yesterday, and I'm hoping that there'll be an uptick from this one on the Indian markets. So these are the two sectors that I'm looking at: IT as well as metals.
Okay. Let's also look at a few brokerage houses reports that will be in focus today. So the cement pack is likely to be in focus. Again, Citi has brought out a report on the cement sector where Ultratech is their consensus pick. And they're also positive on Ambuja and Dalmia. So keep an eye out on these three cement counters. Life insurance space, we've been talking a lot about. And these three stocks will also be in focus: HDFC Life, SBI Life, and Max Life. Here, Investec has come out with a report. It's maintained a buy rating on HDFC Life with a target price that has been raised to 825 rupees per share. So that's positive for the stock. SBI Life, here again, they've maintained a buy rating. Investec with a target price that's been raised to 1700 rupees per share. Again, a positive for Max Life. Again, they've maintained a buy with a target price that's been raised to 1350 rupees per share. Also on LIC, they've downgraded to hold on the LIC stock. However, they've still raised the target price to 875 rupees per share as well. Apart from this, ITC, that's going to be in focus. HSBC has maintained a buy rating on the company, raised the target price to 490 rupees per share. On Indigo, that's going to be in focus. Of course, it's become the sixth largest airline across the world, and that's why it's going to be in focus too. And you can actually see with the kind of Motilal Oswal Financial Services report that's come in, a neutral rating on the stock with a target price of 2,800 as well. So those are the important brokerage houses reports that you need to keep an eye out on as well. Shell?
Yes, actually. But as we have been gathering with a lot of market experts all of yesterday evening, the crisis now is in the large street, that of plenty. What to leave out? There are sectors that are just parabolic in their rally. You look at how the energy space is moving. It started with Tata Power, then Adani Power joined the rally, then JSW joined in, and then of course the NBFC space, REC, PFC has been a buzz with gains for a very, very long time. Uh, the railway pack is doing very well. The
Hmm.
defense sector is doing phenomenally well. So the theme yesterday evening actually was कि अब क्या करें, पैसे सीमित हैं और ideas बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. So that's how bull markets are. They leave you fretting with the feeling of being left out, and that's how things are. We have to sort of trim our expectations in reality to what our pocket allows, and therefore focus on probably the best of the best within each sector. And if nothing makes sense, then just buy a good equity diversified mutual fund, and let that be the headache of the fund manager. I have always believed that the least amount of work you do in the markets gives you the maximum return and the maximum joy and the maximum compounding of wealth, Sakshi.
Absolutely. Let's also talk about some more stocks that you need to keep an eye out on. Biocon, that will be in focus. The company has said that its associate company, Bicara Therapeutics, has successfully concluded Series C financing, raising $165 million on December 12th. Again, a positive for the company. IRCTC is going to be in focus again. Shell was talking about the entire railway pack, and the news flows are also positive here. The company is now branching out to expand its brand and business reach beyond the railway catering as well. So that's going to be in focus. GMM Fodler, that's going to be in focus. The company has a recent transaction within its promoter group with the Patel family via Miller's Machinery acquiring 1% stake in the company. Uno Minda, remember this company has been in focus on of a lot of analysts from that come on our channel, including Devin Choksi. He's positive on the stock. Here, the company has now inaugurated a new manufacturing facility for automotive seating systems in Ahmedabad. That's again a positive as well as far as the space is concerned. From the banking space, Bandhan Bank could be in focus. The RBI has authorized Bandhan Bank to disburse pension to retired railway employees, and Axis Bank could be in focus. Here, UBS, Goldman Sachs, Society General, and Morgan Stanley are major buyers in the Axis Bank deal. So that bank is also going to be in focus because it's likely to see a change of hands of 1.1% equity. That's 3.3 crore shares via the block deal too. JSW Energy, that's another stock that you should keep an eye out on. The company's subsidiary has completed a bonus issue of 75.38 crore shares worth 753 crores as well. Shell?
Right. So we'll wait for the pre-open trades to come in, and a couple of points that I'd like to make, Sakshi, is that there seems to be a 1 percentage point gap up on the GIFT Nifty, which is a 200 point uptick. So this is how markets are likely to open at. My understanding, Sakshi, is that this is going to be a trending day. A trending day is that you open up with whatever gap up that the market is able to muster. And the fact that on a regular 5 minute, 15-minute basis, the candles that keep on forming are higher and higher. So you have higher highs and higher lows. So that helps in breaking out of the range. As you can see, over the last 12, 15 sessions, all the gap ups that have happened have resulted in the index opening higher and then flattening out. But today, it's most likely to be a trend day, given the underlying change in sentiment, which is that rates will calm down in the US, and the fact that we were waiting for this kind of an indication over the last 6, 7 trading sessions that change will happen in terms of the underlying strength of the market and the underlying thought. So all that is now in positivity. So the gap up that had happened on Monday post the election results, and then the market rallied, is something which you just might see repeated today. On the uh, plus point is the fact that you have the weekly expiry of the Nifty, which basically means a lot of short covering will happen from bears, and the bulls will be now laughing all the way to the bank on the large streets, actually.
Absolutely. Shell, and importantly, what we'll also look at is, of course, along with the stock markets, we've been looking at the mutual fund flows increase as well. And what we've come to know as some data point from Capital Line is that there's been a surge in mutual fund holdings for some of the stocks here. In percentage terms, we've seen Kalpatru Power Projects, International Equitas, Small Finance Bank, MCX, PVR, KNR Constructions, VMart Retail, Orient Electric, City Union Bank, Team Lease, and PNC Infratech, all of them have actually seen an increase in the ownership by mutual funds in the month of November as well. And these have been remained the top 10 picks from the Nifty Small Cap 250 stocks with the highest mutual fund stake. So we have to continue to keep an eye out on the mid and the small cap space as well, as they continue to be in focus. And all of these stocks will also continue to focus on the markets as well. All right, what we'll do is we'll take a very, very short break right now. When we return, we will be joined with Rajesh Palvia, Head of Technical and Derivatives Research at Axis Securities, who we will continue to discuss after the pre-opening session is started, which are the stocks and sectors that you need to focus on.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Pre-open space. Sakshi, we've had a 115-point gap up. Let's see how it gathers steam. Every second that passes by, you add 4 or 5 points. So 21,016, 17 is what is there on the screen. Remember, the gift Nifty had indicated a 199-point gap up. Let's see how it gathers steam from the current level. Now, of course, up 140. So that's how the Nifty is. Let us look at the stocks that are contributing to this very, very sharp uptick. Uh, Axis Bank, 3% higher, 1148. Infosys, Sakshi, this is the stock that I'm looking at for today, 1.5% higher, 1470. TCS, 0.8% higher, 3622. And Reliance Industries, 0.7% higher, 2451. Apart from HDFC Bank, all stocks on the Nifty index heavyweight space are in the green. Let me just give you some other rates. 1% higher on ITC, 460. Tata Motors a percent higher, 727. Let's shift focus to the FNO space and look at stocks apart from uh, the index heavyweights. It's 2.8% higher on L&T Mindtree. So, Sakshi, it's the IT theme that's going to work today. L&T Technology Services, 3% higher, 5,076. Tech Mahindra, 2.4% higher, 1245. Emphasis, 2.64% higher, 2483. L&T Mind Tech, 5848, 2% higher. I'm fairly confident that today is the day that is going to belong to IT. Okay, let's look at other prices. It's going to be a blue chip large cap day, Sakshi. Amongst the top gainers, I see lots of top end stocks. Bajaj Finance, 1.8% higher, 7387. Ultratech Cement, 1.3% higher, 9868. So it's a big cap rally that's coming in for today, Sakshi. Let's look at the NSE 500 space. NBCC, 5% higher, 8440. We have a strong move coming in on Shobha Developers, 3.9% higher, 1011. M&M 1702, 2.2% higher. It's a large cap all the way, Sakshi. A very, very strong move, most likely to come in. Let's see whether we can get a connect into Rajesh Palvia. He was supposed to join us. A very good morning to you, Rajesh Bhai. What a pleasure we had in your company yesterday evening, and great discussing the markets and the crisis that was there yesterday evening. The crisis of plenty has deepened further. It's a 121 point uptick on the Nifty, 21,050 for you. How do you see the market now, given what the US Federal Reserve has said and your two topics?
Good morning, Shailji. Good morning, Sakshi. Good morning, everyone. It was very wonderful evening we spent yesterday in your BT Wealth event. A lot of insight on the long-term structure of market by all market veteran. So it was, really pleasure for us to, connect with all these, market veteran in your event. Moving to the market, yes, it's a clear gap up opening, and as Fed has given a comfort by their meeting outcome. So I think the immediate punishment would be there for call writers, which was aggressive at 21,000 strike. So I think they are forced to cover their writing position after this opening, and I think that may lead to further more upward momentum to the market, and then possibly we can move further higher towards 21,200, 21,300 kind of zone. So I think whatever dips which we get in last 2 3 trading session, it was clearly a buying opportunity. Buy on dips is a clear strategy at this moment. Very strong bull run is going on in our market. So I think instead of looking at the shorting opportunity, I think everybody should look to buy only the quality stocks wherever you get support area. So 20,000, 20,900 is now the major support zone, and 21,200 to 21,300 is the next level where we can see Nifty to move further higher. Again, in the bank Nifty also, we are going to witness again short covering action as gap up opening is going to continue in bank Nifty also. Yesterday, bank Nifty weekly option expiry was almost at flattish zone at 47,100 zone. So I think if bank Nifty opens above 47,200, then here also we will see we are going to witness a short covering, and then bank Nifty can scale up to the level of 47,600 to 700. So I think trend is likely to remain on the buying side. So two stocks idea. One is from metal space, that is NMDC is looking clearly bullish. So we believe that NMDC can continue. 198,204 is the next target. 186 is the stop loss. From the same space, I think Vedanta is also looking promising. I think one can look at Vedanta also. Stock is on a verge of giving breakout to its multiple supply zone of consolidation range. So I think Vedanta can also move further higher towards 265, 270 zone with stop loss of 247. And the third stock is Biocon. That is from pharma space. After a long consolidation, now stock is giving a breakout and stock is moving in upsloping channel on the daily chart. So I think today is the day where we can see a breakout of this upsloping channel on the higher side. And then Biocon can scale up to the next target of 268 to 275. So Biocon is buy with stop loss of 242.
All right. Good morning, Rajesh. Great to have you with us back again. And these stock ideas that you've shared, we will continue to watch out for them. Let's look at the Nifty first. It's inching even higher in the pre-opening trade, 166 points now higher, 21,097 odd levels, 21,100 now. On the screens, 0.8% higher, 173. So it's ticking higher. Very, very strong move coming in. A lot of sectors and stocks are moving up in trade as well. Rajesh, I wanted to ask you on the realty space. The realty index hit a record high yesterday. How are you looking at the momentum in the realty pack? Any particular stocks that you will watch out for today?
So Sakshi, most of the real estate stocks are doing good, and we have witnessed, the trend is clearly on the upside. A series of higher top, higher bottom formation is taking place on the realty index as well as on the most of the large cap and mid cap stocks on the real estate space. So I think the clear winner is DLF. One should remain invested in this stock, and I think this stock may continue furthermore upside on the short to medium term as well as for the long term perspective. Also, very strong buying action is taking place. So DLF is the stock where we are bullish and we expect this rally. For trading point of view, 700 to 720 is the next target. One can remain on the long side of trade with stop loss of 658. Another stock that we like from F&O space, that is Godrej Property. Stock is moving in higher top, higher bottom formation, and I think after a brief consolidation today again we are going to see a resumption of uptrend, and possibly Godrej Property can continue upside momentum towards 2000 kind of level. So one can buy this stock also with stop loss of 1900.
Okay.
Okay.
Sakshi, it's going to be a Rangila opening as far as markets are concerned. Uh, it's almost, I hate to use this word, that extreme caution has to be advised, because you see, IRIDA up 8% again, 120, 130. You have a very, very strong move coming in on Axis Bank. Obviously, we can't ask Mr. Palvia on his view on Axis Bank. I was teasing him yesterday also. But fresh record high 1132 for you. Bajaj Finance 1.6% higher, 73.74. Rajeshji, let's look at Infosys. 1% higher, 1463. What would be your view on this space? Across the board, we are seeing a very, very sharp move in pre-open trade on IT stocks.
So Shelji, in this bull run, market has become more smarter than everyone. And if we just see that yesterday was shakeout for all the IT stocks buyer, because everybody was trying to find why IT stocks were down. And again today is a different day for IT stocks post this FOMC outcome. So I think this is the only space where risk to reward is still in the favor of investor as well as for the trader, because other sectors are still trading at all-time high trajectory. The IT index and IT stocks, large cap, especially large cap IT stocks, are still trading near to their lower band of consolidation. So here is the safety for most of the trader as well as for the investor. So I think Infosys and the TCS, I think, can continue furthermore upside. I think we believe that Infosys can scale up to the level of 1500 to 1520, because base building activity is taking place for most of the large cap IT stocks. But yes, it may take time to come out from there this base building activity. But yes, pullback would be there for Infosys. We are projecting target of 1490 to 1500, and keep your stop loss at 1420. And TCS is also looking promising, CLG, at this moment, and I think one can look to buy this TCS also. If it's open above 3620 level, then this really can extend towards 3700 to 3720 also.
Okay. Sakshi, let me point out something very interesting to you. The Nifty, of course, has settled at 21,110. So the gap up is now 184 points. And what is really interesting is that if you look at the turnover in the index heavyweights in pre-open on a daily basis, if you look at the most active counters, it's 15 crores, 17 crores, 20 crores in the likes of HDFC, Reliance, ICICI Bank, Infosys, Axis, so on and so forth. Today, it's going to be a blowout day. 87 crores pre-open, HDFC Bank, Reliance 42 crores, ICICI Bank 27, Infosys 20 crores. So not only are we seeing a gap up, we are also seeing very, very heavy volumes being transacted initially. And Sakshi, what's really interesting is that the first 25 stocks on the most actively traded list are in the green. So that shows the granularity of what is going to come from 9:15 onwards. You will see a very, very heavy short covering of ITM calls, not only for today, but also for people who had shorted it for the weekly expiry of 21st of December. So it's going to be a very, very powerful uptick on the index as far as today's transaction is concerned. Rajeshji, to you, anything apart from IT which looks good to you sectorally because of this move from the US Federal Reserve?
I think clearly the another space that one should look at this moment, that is PSU theme, that is playing out very well. So I think power is the one space one should remain on the buying side of trade. Stock like NTPC, Power Grid, REC, PFC, all these stocks are showing clear breakout, and clear buying action is visible in the day-on-day basis. So I think these all stocks one should keep on their radar, and I think outperformance is going to continue in power space. So that's the another sector we are focusing at this moment. And from most of the mid cap stocks are from this fertilizer space is also looking promising at this moment. So I think one can look at some of the fertilizer stocks like RCF, FACT, Chabbal Fertilizer, GNFC. These all stocks are also looking promising at this moment. So this is another theme where we see, in coming month, we are going to have good traction in terms of buying.
Okay. Rajesh, your thoughts on IRCTC? In the pre-opening trade, it settled at 2.8% higher at 799. What would you say here? The stock is reflecting the move that IRCTC is looking to broaden its services beyond catering in the railways.
So from railway theme, the IRCTC was the only one stock where underperformance was there. But now, since last couple of weeks, stock is now coming out from its base building activity, and looking at the weekly and monthly chart, stock is now breaking out of its consolidation range. So long built up was clearly there post rollover activity. So that IRCTC may exhibit further upside, and we are optimistic, and we expect that this stock can continue towards 825 to 830 kind of level in the continuation of this up move. So I think IRCTC is clear buy at this moment. Breakout is already there. Long built up is already there on the derivative data. So one can look to buy this stock as it's already gap up opening. So I think if you get any opportunity to buy around 785, you can look to buy this stock with stop loss of 765.
Okay, fair enough. Apart from this, we're also looking at PSU banks now coming back in flavor. You were talking about the entire PSU theme. In the pre-opening trade, we have Bank of India, Union Bank, Bank of Baroda all up in trade. How would you look at them?
Yeah. PSU banks are clearly a buy, and most of the PSU banks are showing good traction. Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda is our preferred pick, and from small ticket size bank, PNB, that is again looking very interesting from F&O space. I think one can
Right,
look to
sir.
Yeah.
invest in PNB. Yeah, that's
Right.
another.
Markets are open, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm congratulations to you all. It's a 160-point uptick, 21,087 for you. I'd just like to see the IT index. Sakshi, it's up 1.7%, 552 points higher, 33,600 in front of you. The Nifty Bank up 1%, 519 points higher, fresh record high, 47,615. Let's look at what's sticking very well in the markets. I want to see what Infosys is doing. 1.5% higher, 1471. TCS, 1.4% higher, 3642. These are the two top gainers in the index heavyweight space. HDFC Bank, 1.3% higher, 1652. Reliance is 0.7% higher, 2451. HDFC Bank, 1.36% higher, 1653. So it's a blowout, Sakshi. All 10 stocks in the index heavyweight space are in the green. The Nifty is now gathering steam, 181 point higher, 21,110. This is the trending part of the market that I was telling you about. And in terms of top gainers, as far as the F&O is concerned, it's metal. Again, a beneficiary of global falling interest rates. Steel Authority of India, 1.6% higher, 3%, 106.35. 3% higher. Then we have a series of F&Os, IT stocks. Emphasis up 2.8%, Persistent up 2.5%, Birla Soft up 2.5%, Tech Mahindra up 2%, and L&T Technology Services and Coforge up 2.2% respectively. So it's a blowout on metals, it's a blowout on IT. Let's look at what is the F&O space apart from these stocks saying. The NSE 500, NBCC 5% higher, 84.25. Tanla Solutions, remember it rose 17% yesterday, up 5% today, 1147. The one stock that I want to see is what is Tata Technologies doing, because it might have benefited with this IT move. Tata Tech is still up 1.2, 1216. Without any further delay, Rajesh ji, what looks good to you? Anything that can be done on the Nifty, or is the game over?
So I think those who have already bought, they should enjoy this gap up opening, and I think some profit they can book if they have taken the trading position in the market. I think let the supply pressure to absorb at this moment, 21,100, as we have already seen on the Nifty spot. So I think next 10-15 minutes, some supply pressure would be there. But the clear theme which we can see from the screen, that is, IT, and I think if anybody wants to take any trade now, so I think mid-cap IT is the space where one can look at to buy. LTI Mindtree is looking very promising at this moment, and I think this really can extend further. Looking at the gap up opening in LTI Mindtree, we believe that now this stock can move further higher towards 59.40, 59.50 kind of level. So one can buy this LTI Mindtree with stop loss of 58.20. This is the first stock which we like at this moment. And the second stock that we like to buy at this moment, that is, India Mart. India Mart is also, recovering from its recent, bottom. And looking at the overall structure, we believe that, India Mart can also move further higher. The next target for the stock towards the higher side is 28.60, 28.90. One can buy this stock with stop loss of 2765.
Okay, it's the entire IT pack, like Shell was, saying before the markets had hit pre-open, that it could be a day of trade as far as the IT space is concerned, and not just large caps like HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, LTI, Mindtree, Infosys, Tata. The top five gainers on the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, all IT stocks. Top six, all IT stocks on the Nifty, and in the mid-cap IT space also. Of course, emphasis, that's 4.4% higher in trade, the top mover in the FNO space. Coforge, that's the second top mover on the FNO space. Again, 3.8% of a move on the upside. Birla Soft, the third one that's up in trade, and that's also up by 3.5%. Persistent Systems, 3% higher in the FNO space again. So the mid cap IT space is also buzzing very, very strongly, apart from the large cap IT space. Um, Rajesh, your top favorite as far as the mid cap IT names are concerned, all are moving up higher, but which one will you go with?
So as I mentioned, LTI Mindtree, and it's doing good, and I think this stock may continue furthermore upside. So that stock I would like to recommend here at this moment. Another stock is Coforge is also promising. I think Coforge is clearly outperforming to all mid-cap IT, and looking at the near-term, short-term structure, we believe that Coforge can also continue. Though the ticket size is big for all this stock, but whenever we see any quality in the stock, there is always a high ticket size price. So Coforge is the stock where we expect 61.20, 61.50 is the next target. One can look to buy this stock also with stop loss of 59.60. So LTI maintained Coforge, one can look to buy at this.
Right.
Okay.
Sakshi, look at the IT index. Remember, it opened with a gap up of 550 points. It's accelerated from there. Now the gain is about 700 points, 33,750. And such is the enthusiasm of a cut in the US market that 19 indices that we track, all 19 of them are in the green section. Point number one. IT index is, of course, the top gainer, 2% higher at the value that I mentioned earlier. Now let's look at the NSE 500. The advanced decline is unbelievable. 419 stocks in the 500 set are in the green, and there is just 80 stocks in the red. On the broader NSE, 1643 stocks are in the green and just 200 stocks in the red. So you can just see how strong this rally is at the moment, and everything that you can look at in terms of high beta, high ticket, low beta, low ticket, as well as high beta, low ticket. That's the one that's moving very, very rapidly. We'll get Rajesh ji to look at Tanla Solutions, 7% higher. This is building up on yesterday's rally of 17%. 1166 for you. Rajesh ji, any view on Tanla Solutions? I ask this because it's the top gainer and huge volume activity in the first 5-7 minutes of trade. 19 lakh shares traded.
Very strong price action in last couple of trading session. Like stock was in consolidation, and now very strong volume breakout is already there on the stock prices. So looking at the breakout on the daily weekly time frame, yes, we do expect further more upside. We can see towards 1200 to 1220 in the stock, as this is the first move is taking place in Tanla after significant corrective move. So, and the whole theme is, now towards the IT and IT solutions company. So I think Tanla can continue. 1200, 1220 is the next target. One can hold their long position, trail your stop loss at around 1125 to 1120 kind of level. And possibly we can see stock to move beyond 1200 in today's session also.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, all four major indices are at record levels. The Sensex, the Nifty Bank, and the Nifty Mid Cap Index, they're all at record high levels. The Nifty Bank now 600 points higher in trade. Both the IT and the banking stocks are celebrating the dovish comments of the US Fed as well. Rajesh, what would you do with the banks now? Apart from the IT space, that's the other space that's moving very, very strongly. ICICI Bank, it's at 1029. HDFC Bank at 1653. 1.5% higher each. Axis Bank follows 1130 odd levels. Kotak Mahindra Bank follows as well. IndusInd Bank. They're all the 4-5 major banks from the private banking space that are providing some more support to the markets.
Yeah, definitely. The Sakshi, I think today after the opening, yes, everybody is chasing IT stock, but again, the another theme which can continue further and which can give support to the index, that is banking and financial space. I think this momentum is going to continue further. The stock which we like from private space, that is IndusInd Bank, stock is already enjoying its breakout, and I think. Looking at the data setup, we believe that once stock crosses above 1540, then this stock can also move further higher towards 1600 to 1620 kind of level. So one can look at to buy this stock at this moment. And from financial NBFC space, I think one can look at the Bajaj Finance also. Stock is showing good traction after the opening. Yes, there was a corrective move in last couple of days, but now today it's a day for trend reversal, and I think Bajaj Finance can be looked at to buy. This stock can also move higher towards 75, 50, 75, 80 kind of level. So one can buy Bajaj Finance also from NBFC space with stop loss of 74.10.
Okay. Sakshi, let me just mark prices in the FNO, in the PSU space. Again, like I said, extreme caution is advised for very simple reasons that these are gap ups and they have come up after a sustained uptrend. IRIDA, Sakshi, there is no point telling you another 10%, sir. So the fourth in a row, 20, 20, 10 and 10. 123.20, ladies and gentlemen. 29 lakh shares have already been traded. So that's something like 30 into 123. Just 1 second. I'll just tell you how much of volume has come in this one. Okay. 358 crore shares, rupees worth of shares have been traded, making it the top traded counter on the National Stock Exchange. NBCC. It's the government rally that's happening in the real estate space, 4% higher, 8350. IRFC 3.5% higher, 8650. Steel Authority, HUDCO, RVNL up about 2% each. There was a company, MMTC, which the government wants to shut down, Sakshi. It's up 1.5%, 6145. बंद होने से पहले धमाके हो रहे हैं. What else is moving? Bank of India, Sakshi, you've pointed out this one, 113.85. So very, very sharp rallies coming in. And like I said, if you look at the NSE 500 space, which is the biggest index that we have, 425 stocks are in the green. The Adani pack has also started to move. I need to mark this one because it was quiet over the last 2 or 3 trading sessions. Adani Green 6% higher, 1510. Adani Total 4% higher, 1046. Adani Energy Solutions 4% higher, 1074. Adani Enterprises and Adani Ports 1% higher each. It will be interesting, Sakshi, to look at the advanced decline ratio in the FNO space. Okay, it's 145 stock futures in the green uh, versus 42 in the red. And how about the Nifty? What's the advanced decline ratio in the Nifty? That itself would be an phenomenal indicator of what now? Okay, it's 40s to 10. Yani ki for every one stock that is down, four are up. And which are the losers? Power Grid 1.2% lower. FMCG is weak. That's not a problem. Lever, Asian Paints, Tata Consumer, Nestle, and Hero Motors and Bajaj Auto. All in all, a fabulous opening. And Sakshi, now it's a double century on the Nifty. Like I had said, it will be a trending day. 21,128. The Nifty IT, hold your breath, 832 points higher, 33,900. Sakshi.
Absolutely. It's turning out to be a fabulous day of trade already. And of course, it's the IT pack that is shining all the way through, celebrating the most after the US Fed commentary. The metals pack was mentioned by Rajesh. So I'll take one view here. Some of the stocks are buzzing in action. Hindalco, Steel Authority, they're moving up in trade. Which one would you now go with, Rajesh, between Hindalco and SAIL?
I think both stocks are looking promising at this moment, but I'll go with the sale. The fresh move is taking place in Steel Authority, and I think if you look at the weekly chart, there is a rounding bottom formation, and then breakout is clearly visible on the weekly time frame. So, looking at this breakout, we believe that this is the fresh move, and one should take advantage of this fresh move of Steel Authority. Next target for the stock we can see towards 112 to 115. So one can look to buy this stock with stop loss of 105.
Okay. Apart from this, I'll also take your view on Equitas Small Finance Bank. I was mentioning this, that it is on top of the radar of some of the brokerage houses as well. 4% higher in trade right now at 107. Would you still buy the stock?
So I think banking and finance, NBFC, all these stocks are showing good traction, and I think this is the theme which is going to continue. Equitas Small Finance, yes, clear breakout of its multiple supply zone on the daily, weekly, monthly time frame. After a brief consolidation of last couple of weeks, now stock has managed to give breakout on the weekly as well as on the monthly chart. So this breakout clearly indicates the next target. I think one can hold the positional basis for upside target of 130 to 135. Very strong breakout on the monthly chart. So positionally, yes, one can hold 130.35 is the next target. Keep your stop loss at 102.
Okay. Rajesh, what we'll do is we'll take a very, very quick break right here. When we return, we will continue to discuss more stock ideas from the mid and the small cap space as well. Because remember, the mid cap space is also at record levels at 0.7% higher in trade. Stay with us.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back to what has been a fabulous start for the markets. We are at 9:32, and there is no stopping the Nifty IT index, now up 2.8%, 939 for you. It's breached the 34,000 point mark. That's very interesting. I'd like to see, in terms of positioning, where the index is. Of course, a very, very strong rally that has come in front of you. The index now, okay, at its highest level since April 2022, so that would make it 1 year plus 8. So it's at a highest level in 20 months. That's a very, very big breakout that's happening. And across the board, the entire IT space is doing phenomenally. We track some 16 stocks in the IT space as far as the FNO space is concerned. And all 16, apart from MCX, which of course is uh, and exchange, are doing phenomenally well. Emphasis 5% higher, Coforge 4% higher, Persistent 4, Naukri.com 3.5% higher, Birla Soft 3.5% higher, and the list goes on and on. The lowest gainer is TCS, ladies and gentlemen, which is up 2.2%. Infosys gaining 2.6%. Let's get back with Rajesh ji. Palvia Saab, what to do now? Should we both go on a holiday because the market seems to be done and dusted? Or are you interested in taking a long position somewhere at this kind of a level, 21,143? The double century is getting better and better, 215 points higher on the Nifty. Does that 21,100 call for December 21 make sense, or is it overstretched?
Definitely, we will buy that call option, but the risk to reward will be in favor if we get any dip of around 50, 60 point from the
Correct.
current level. Because already we are seeing that 200 point already we are there on the positive side for the Nifty. So what exactly is happening? 21,000 call writers are covering their position. They are shifting their position to 21,200, 21,500 strike. Let that process to get over, and I think that that will give us some comfort in the premiums in terms of option. So yes, definitely we will buy next weekly expiry option for Nifty of strike price of 21,100 as you mentioned. Yes, but yes, it is now trading at 169. So but our buying interest would be at around 140, 135 kind of level. If we get that opportunity, yes, surely we will buy around those levels.
Okay, let me just highlight stocks that have hit record highs in the most broadest index, which is the NSE 500. Again, it's a sea of green as far as IT stocks are concerned. Sonata Software, 9% higher, 790. Remember, this is also the bonus readjustment of price. Birla Soft, now very close to 699, 4% higher. Blowout volume, both Sonata and Birla Soft have more than 10 lakh shares that have traded. Let's look at Persistent and HCL Tech. Record highs here, 6770 and 1413. HUDCO and CSE. HUDCO 102 and CESC. This is the power utility which is owned by the Goenka Group in Eastern India. 127 rupees, 1.6% higher. NHPC 65 rupees, 1.4% higher. SGVN 93.50, 1% higher. Very, very strong gains, ladies and gentlemen. And the lower the ticket size, the higher the beta that seems to be working. Let's look at the PSU theme. Let's look at the banking space. What is doing well here? Any bank that comes, Union Bank, 1.5%, 1.2% higher, 123.25. Rajesh, would you have a view on Union Bank?
Yes, definitely. And we have recently recommended this stock to our client also. And we are expecting the target of around 140 to 145 on a positional basis. So, yes, definitely Union Bank is one stock where one can look to buy. Even if you get any opportunity towards 120 also is a good level to enter in this stock. Very strong momentum is taking place in the stock on the daily, weekly time frame. Series of higher top, higher bottom formation, clearly indicating there is a sustained buying action, and a whole PSU theme as well as the PSU bank theme. Both themes are, doing good for these stocks. So I think Union Bank is a buy with stop loss of 114. upside target 135 for trading point of view.
Okay, and I'd also like to mark uh, Irida now. It's off the circuit and it's now up just 5%. This is something that is really interesting. Supply finally coming in as far as the circuit was concerned, and at the moment it's 118.85. Again, I'm just marking the stock because it's red hot on the charts. Just a price value that I'm telling you, 6.25% higher. Remember, it was up 10 in the morning. The open was at 121.30, the high was 123.20. At the moment there seems to be some supply coming in on the fourth circuit, 220s and 210s. That's how the market is. And at the moment, you have somewhere like 827 crores worth of shares being traded for Indian Renewable Energy Company. That's how it is at the moment. On purpose, we will not do a technical check on this one because it's extremely overheated at that point of time. What else is moving in the large cap space? Which can gain attention. Okay, HDFC Bank 1% higher, 1650. Lever is down. ITC is flat. That's interesting. No money moving into FMCG. The index now up exactly a percent, 21,137. Rajeshji, anything else that catches your fancy as of now?
So I think, Shalji, in today's session, I think IT is the flavor of the day, and Wipro is another stock where one can look at after a long consolidation and underperformance. Now stock is moving out. So I think Wipro is looking interesting. Short covering action is already taken place in last couple of trading sessions. So this stock is again, risk to reward point of view, because now in this overheated market, one should look at to where the risk is low and low beta stock. So Wipro is low beta, risk is also low. So I think Wipro can be a stock 445. This is the next target. One can buy this stock with stop loss of 422. And I think from banking space, we discussed this IndusInd Bank. That stock is now moving at all-time high. That stock is also looking promising for the day. And IndiaMart is also, I have mentioned, so that stock is also looking promising. So one can look at all these stocks which we have already discussed. I just wanted to highlight one cash segment stock, that is, BLS International Shenji. That stock is almost has given a breakout of its previous swing high, and I think one can look to buy this stock on a positional basis. Possible upside we can see on a positional basis towards 350, 360, and stop loss to buy this stock for positional basis, that is around 308.
Okay. BLS, of course, is at an all-time high, and that is something which is really interesting. This stock was also one of the top gainers in yesterday's trade, so it's a follow-up move that's happening. Interesting, Rajeshji, that you mentioned IndusInd. It's one of those banking franchisees that doesn't seem to get the kind of respect it deserves. But after a very long while, somebody has mentioned good things about IndusInd Bank, and of course 1528. The move that you see is fairly substantial. I'm just looking at the all-time high that was about 2033. That was in a very different time zone. This was in August of
2008.
2018. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are very far away, but nevertheless, a good pick that you've mentioned. And of course, it's the highest level since 2020 that we are seeing. So it's interesting, Rajeshji, that you point this out. So it's the COVID high that it's taking out. That's a very remarkable kind of data that Rajeshji has put forth. So this is something substantial. Let's visit the FNO space. I'd like to see where we have the highest deployment of open interest. Emphasis and Steel Authority, both which Rajeshji has discussed. Birla Soft, again, record high. I'm very hesitant to take top picks and views on stocks which are in record high territory. So I'm just marking the space 698.65. Now, what are the losers? Where can you see interesting trades here? Okay, very interesting. RECL profit booking 1% lower, 443. This is one of those stocks, which has been the cornerstone and the how should I say, the building brick of the rally that we see in the past space. So percent lower today. Hindustan Petroleum 1% lower. This is at 373. BPCL 1% lower. Power Grid. So it's the power space which is considering underselling. Uh, Two pharma stocks, Abbott India, 1% lower, Cipla, about 0.7% lower. And again, Lupin, Biocon, these are the stocks that are slipping in trade, but it's the gainers that are taking it away. The percentage loss on losers is very low, and the percentage rise on gainers is very high. So that gives you the quality and the granularity of the market when you look at differentiating what the trend is. And in the top 10 gainers, there is Emphasis, Coforge, Naukri, Persistent, Birlasoft, Tech Mahindra, L&T, and HCL Tech, which are 7 stocks. So we know which sector is buzzing. Rajesh ji, any views or words of sympathy for bears today?
I think this is not the market to go short, as clear confidence is there on the street, and I think bear should turn on the bullish side of the trade, because this market is not giving you any significant corrective move. Whatever dips are coming in the market, buyers are ready to buy those dips, because still the FOMO factor is working. Everybody's feeling left out in the market. Market has moved very sharply up. Everybody was now struggling to buy which stocks to buy in their portfolios. I think when these kind of phenomena works in the market, I think these really can extend further. I think this is not the time to go short or to remain on the bearish side of the market. I think this is a structural bull run, and I think this really can extend at any level. I think now everyone can look to see at 21,500 could be the next target for the Nifty. That clearly shows in the data itself. I think again that the kind of punishment we have seen on the 21,000 strike call writers. So now next they are moving their position at 21,500. So it could be next punishment would be at around 21,500. Who knows what news will drive the market again in this kind of gap up opening in the coming weeks. So I think try to buy dips because structure is extremely bullish at this moment.
Okay, and this is a point of extreme practical advice for those who are inherently bearish in nature, which is a fine sentiment to have. But one must never argue with price in the market for a very simple reason that should the market remain irrational for a longer period of time, it's your solvency and liquidity which will be at risk. So, should you feel that this rally is not understanding the fundamentals of whatever values and numbers that you see, please, you are welcome to sit on the fence. But this is not a market to short. And these are two signs which I will describe to you. It was a gap up opening today based on perhaps one of the most fundamental changes that have happened globally over the last 3 years, which is the US Federal Reserve's move to say that rate rises are enough now. We may have overextended ourselves and rate cuts are on the way. Similarly, about last week on Monday, you had a gap up from 20,000 to 88 to 20,588. That was a 300-point gap up, and that was because of the stunning electoral victory. So these gap ups are now sustaining, and it's best that you do not try to short them. Stay away if you feel that the market is irrational. And Rajesh ji, as we discussed the Nifty, it's a fresh record high coming in, 218 points higher, 21,141 for you. What a wonderful day to have you with us. The Bank Nifty also a 1.5% higher, 1.4% higher. at 47,725, fresh record high. And it is my estimate that you will see a four-digit gain on the Nifty IT index.
Yeah,
Now,
surely.
932 points higher, 33,000, 34,000 now. Remember, it had opened 500 points higher. And from
Yeah.
then on, it has accelerated. So you can see the pent up
Okay.
demand for IT. Rajesh, your views.
Yeah, definitely. So, Shelji, the kind of statement came from the FOMC that is a no-brainer buy for the IT stocks because IT stocks was struggling because of US and Europe issues, and I think this FOMC statement is clearly now showing us a path that yes, sooner or later, maybe in next year, next calendar year, we are going to have a pause as well as the rate cut also from the FOMC. So that will fuel up the furthermore, buying action in the IT, and that's the factor where everybody is now buying these IT stocks because post state election outcome, what was the mood of market? Everybody was chasing Adani stocks because everybody was now that in comfort zone, and now post this FOMC statement, everybody is now adding IT stocks in their portfolio because safety of margin is clearly there in this space. So I think, and there is a clear disclaimer from my side also. I have added IT ETF, ITBs in my portfolio also 3 4 days back. So I think that's the view because I was also looking for safety of margin. So that was the space, and I have also invested in that space. So that disclaimer I just wanted to put here.
Okay, that's a wonderful view coming in. Once you understand that there is a structural shift coming in, it's much better to play via the ETF route. And you also have the Nifty ITBs, just as you have the PSU banking Bs, the banking Bs in front of us. So that's how the markets are structured, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Very, very sharp uptick coming in on uh, the IT index, and it's maybe 60 points away from what will be a 1,000 point rally on the Nifty IT index. Let's hope for the best. But for the moment, 939 points higher, 34,000 in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 20-month high on the IT index, driven by a very, very strong pivot that has come in from the US Federal Reserve. What else is buzzing? There are so many stocks that are buzzing. It's very, very difficult to even start taking names. ICICI Bank. When was the last time you saw a 2% uptick on ICICI Bank? 1,034 in front of you. राजेश जी ICICI बैंक पे तो आप राय दे सकते हैं.
Yeah, surely. So I think now Bank Nifty is also making a new high for the day, and I think now Bank Nifty will take a lead at this moment because uh, IT index is already moved up, and I think now Bank Nifty will take a charge, and these can take market further higher. So ICICI Bank is yes, one can look to buy this stock also. It's already started its recovering, and now stock is comfortably holding about 1,000 level. So post corrective move, now stock is recovered fully. So ICICI Bank can be the buyer on the buying side. 1100 is the next positional target for the stock, and stop loss is now one can keep around 1005. So positionally, yes, ICICI Bank is also looking promising. And one more stock to play this whole market which is moving, and the kind of traction we are seeing from the investor community, that is HDFC AMC. AMC stock, we cannot forget this stock because this is a proxy play to this equity market. So HDFC AMC is also trading at its day high, and I think this stock can also move further higher. 3140, 3160 is the next target. So one can buy this stock also with stop loss of 3020.
Okay, that's a new uh, uh, entirely theme that is coming in, and of course, as yesterday evening we were discussing in Mumbai, that an AUM of 50 lakh crore rupees is something which will improve the bottom lines of all AMC companies, and of course, the biggest listed one is what Rajesh ji is talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to mark the all-time highs that have hit in within the Nifty. It's of course ICICI Bank, which Rajesh ji just discussed. Strong volumes, 52 lakh shares traded here. HCL Tech 1411, 13,035 lakh shares traded. Remember, HCL Tech is the first large cap IT company that's hit a record high. Everybody else is trailing. Infosys, TCS, Wipro is not even in the fray. But HCL Tech is something where momentum is very sharp. NTPC 296.65, 0.5% higher, 67 lakh shares. Adani Ports 1068, 0.5% higher, 21 lakh shares. Titan, Bajaj Auto, and Power Grid are also the counters that have hit record highs. The Nifty in front of you, 240 points higher. It's accelerating, ladies and gentlemen. 21,166 for you. Remember, the gap up was 180 points. Over the next 30-35 minutes, the trend has accelerated. Newer and better stocks are joining the rally. Among them, the flag of this bullish fervor is led by IT stocks. Rajesh ji, anything in the mid cap space that catches your fancy?
I think a lot of ideas, Shailji, and I think Hutco is one stock where we are bullish, and we believe that Hutco can be a stock of long-term portfolio, and this stock is now moving in new trajectory. The kind of buying interest which we are seeing in this stock, I think Hutco can be a stock where we can see a target of around. For positional perspective, 135 to 140 is the next target. But for long-term perspective, we expect this stock can be a stock where we can see a target of more than about 200 plus kind of level also. So that one can look to buy at this moment. Woodco buy and accumulate strategy should be there. Another stock that we like from the pharma space, that is Star. Star is also looking promising. The kind of rally which we have enjoyed in last couple of a week, that is clearly showing us that now this stock can also move further higher, and possible target on the higher side is towards 650, 660. So Star is one stock where we are bullish, and one can look to buy this stock with stop loss of 538. And the third segment or stock which we like at this moment, that is from chemical space, that is Aarti Industry. After corrective move, now stock is recovering. Base building activity is taking place. It may take time, but those who wants to buy some positional basis, are the industries one stock one can buy and accumulate with stop loss of 535. Positionally, stop loss is 535, but upside target we are expecting around 650 to 660. It may take time, but this space is also looking promising.
Okay, so that's how the market is, ladies and gentlemen. Star Health, of course, a marquee investor, which we all know has been one of the biggest proponents of this particular stock. Are the Star Health, of course, trading near all-time lows. I'd like to mention this. This is one of those rare counters which haven't participated at all, ladies and gentlemen. The price that you see is the lowest since June of 2023. Let me see what's the all-time low on this one. The all-time low is fairly distant, 465, but the all-time high was, of course, 928. At the moment, 555. So it's bottom fishing as far as Rajesh is concerned.
No, Shelji, I mentioned Stride Pharma, that is Star. That is at trading at around 585.
One moment, ladies and gentlemen, we'll reboot this. So it's Strides Pharma, not Star Health. My apologies, sir. At the moment, 585. I think this is at a record. No, this is at a highest level since September 2021. So please remove Star Health from your conscience. It's Strides Pharma for you. Thank God you corrected, Rajesh. People
because I was looking at the NSE ticker, and NSE ticker is Star for this Stride Pharma, so I mentioned Star. I was not aware that Star Health is also so Star. That's the stock.
Okay, it's rallied for the 5 days in a row, so you'll have to be a little careful on this one. But nevertheless, uh, large parts of mid-cap pharma are showing very, very strong uh, traction on the long side. There is Suven Pharma as well, record highs on that counter. So good moves coming in as far as markets are concerned. Let me just wrap up the trade for today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blowout. I am repeating myself. It's a trending day, which basically means after the gap up, the index keeps on adding more weight. Today is the weekly expiry of the Nifty. Obviously, we are in record high territory as far as the Nifty and the Bank Nifty are concerned. 1.2% higher on the Nifty, 255 points. Remember, it was a gap up of 184 points. After that, the index has added another 70. The Bank Nifty, 819 points higher, fresh record high, headed towards 48,000, at the moment at 47,900. And the superstar of the day is the Nifty IT index, 886 points higher. We've already seen 34,000 on this one, a bit of a profit booking happening. Remember, the US Federal Reserve yesterday evening said that it had done enough of rate hikes, and now was the time to reverse the cycle with some rate cuts in the offing, and that sparked a global rally. It's been the biggest beneficiary in India, where we had the index, the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, consolidating over the last 6 trading sessions, waiting for this event. And once the event has happened and the outcome is positive, the bulls are running amok on the Lal Street. A very, very nice day as far as markets are concerned. I'll just end the session with pullers and draggers on the Nifty. The stocks that are contributing to the maximum rise, they are at the moment within the banking space and the IT space. As far as the Nifty is concerned, ICICI Bank is contributing 41 points. Reliance is contributing 31 points in the green. Infosys 30 points. HDFC Bank 29 points. And TCS 16 points. On the losing side are Sun Pharma, Power Grid, Asian Paints, Nestle and Cipla. Nothing to be worried about. Thank you, Rajesh ji. What a pleasure to have you here, sir, on today's show, and meeting you last evening as well. Thank you so much for your time for your lovely views that you shared with us. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be all for now as far as markets today are concerned. But remain glued to Business Today Television for all your financial news needs. Thank you so much for your time.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Get ready for the groundbreaking BT 500 Wealth Creators Summit from the